Good evening and welcome to SVG-TV's news for Wednesday, May 11th, 2016. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has made it clear once more that the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is not interested in having a citizenship by investment program. Dr. Gonsalves reiterated his position at a cocktail held at the official residence of the Prime Minister earlier this week for the Chamber of Industry and Commerce for the opening of the organization's first inaugural finance fair. The Prime Minister noted that other members of the OECS have engaged in such programs, which has brought various challenges, and as such his government is simply not interested.
In relation to services, that the government has no intention, this government, of having a citizenship by investment program. That is to say, the selling of citizenship and passports. The 5 other independent countries of the OECS have gone that way. I wish them well. We just simply have a different perspective on it, because in one jurisdiction which has been in the forefront, a lot of problems occurring. You have a population of 50,000 and you have 12,000 economic citizens, and the space is narrowing for it, and there's a race to the bottom. We start from the simple proposition that the most important book in any house in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is the Bible and the passport.
Dr. Gonsalves further noted that his government has made tremendous investment in this country's passport, which is of a high quality. He spoke of the new requirement by the United States for persons traveling to there for a country with a visa requirement to have an e-passport. According to the Prime Minister, SVG is already ahead with all Vincentian passport machine readable.
Country without any requirement for a visa to the United States. Like, for instance, the United Kingdom doesn't require a visa to the United States. You must have an e-passport. And this gentleman didn't get the news. And he had a passport. Of course, the British are now doing e-passports. But he had a 10-year passport, which was not an e-passport. Still valid, but he couldn't board the plane. But every single passport holder in St. Vincent and Grenadines today has an e-passport. You see the chip on the back page, in the inside of the cover. It costs a lot of money to modernize the passport and the grant of it and so on and so forth.
President of the Canouan Island Development Council, Terry Bino, continues to express concern that locals are not being given a fair deal by not having access to 2 of the main beaches on the island. In an interview with SVG-TV News in Canouan on Saturday, Bino pointed out that the construction of a proposed road, which was meant to create access for locals to the beaches, has been blocked with the construction of houses in the same area.
We actually used to use the road where City Gate is now, before the developers come by and take us right around the island, and we would have used that same road to get on to Goodall Beach and Carnage Bay and so on. After they put the gate and not giving us any any thing to get inside to the beaches, we agreed upon building the road here with Sir James. And then you see, after years and they never keep up the agreement, they build the houses in a spot. So it's like telling us this is now private property, houses are now built here, so the road obviously cannot go here. So they're doing everything, and then you go further down on the rock where they build one from land onto the rock into the sea, even buying us from jumping the rocks as well. So we have to bend down and pass under this house if the tide is low, or you have to swim around. So this is the situation here. As you can see, it's a steep cliff. If it's wet, it's very dangerous, even now that it's dry.
Bino further points to a building constructed on the coast, which according to him is a breach of the building code, noting that it is an obstacle to locals trying to access the beach.
Okay, so this is on the rock where we jump on Sundays to go on to Goodall Beach, which is on the next side. You can see this building is also built right on the rock into the water. So if the tide is low, you can bend down and pass under the house. If not, you have to try and swim around it, as you can see. I don't think the planning laws allow for these things like this to happen. You know, because from the high water mark, 198 feet, which is the Tree Chain Act, is where the building should be kept back, where the public should be able to utilize, as far as we understand with the Tree Chain Act. So you can see the building on the rock here. That is even put as an obstacle to keep us from not even entering by jumping the rock onto Goodall Beach.
The community activist said his main focus is access to the beach by locals and that he had suggested the construction of a boardwalk linking Twin Bay Beach to Goodall Beach, but to his knowledge, no consideration to this suggestion was given.
Because we have never seen any staff even using it when they're on vacation. You know, it's really strange. So we think putting access, like I had given an opinion one time, a suggestion to put a boardwalk from Twin Bay Beaches was next door, come around on this rock, you know, so persons wouldn't have to drive through the resort or walk through the resort. And it seems like no attention is being paid to that as well. So it looked to us as though it's a situation where the investors don't want us at all within this property.
And Director of Grenadines Affairs Edwin Snagg stated that there is currently ongoing discussions taking place with various stakeholders on Canouan in order to come to the best possible outcome for all parties involved.
We have met with certain factions in Canouan. We've met with the business community. We've met with the investors, and we have also met with the Canouan Island Development Council. And we also understand that there's the Canouan Island Council. So it's a whole set of stakeholders, and one has to understand that. But I think that in the end, that good sense will prevail, because certainly, I mean, one has to be mindful of the investment climate. One has to be also mindful of the level of employment and jobs provided. One has to be mindful of the business community. So in truth and in fact, all the stakeholders, you know, I mean, one has to look at the interest, and it is the interest of the government, you know, to coordinate all of these various views from the stakeholders. And then of course the people at Canouan in the final analysis, I believe that they are the persons who are going to make the final judgment and determination as to how they deal with this particular matter.
Also speaking on the issue is parliamentary representative for the Southern Grenadines, Terence Oliver, who called for continued dialogue on the issue, as well as for the government to do more in providing training for persons to be more competitive in the job market.
Well, the developers say that they are providing, you know, they will provide transport and such to the beaches. The people are asking for, you know, for dialogue, for them to work out the most productive and meaningful ways for them to get to the beach. The education aspect is also part of the problems that the people are asking. Look, you sold land in Canouan for millions of dollars, but what has been put back on the island so the people can benefit from it? You have the young people who are all about the streets and blocks, can't find jobs. People coming from all over the world and getting jobs. So I'm not saying that people shouldn't come. All I'm saying is that provide the locals, provide the people. When I say locals, I don't only mean people from Canouan, but provide Vincentians with the training necessary, so they can also compete for such jobs within their within their own environment, within their own country.
A two-day finance fair hosted by the Chamber of Industry and Commerce wrapped up here earlier today at the French's House in capital Kingston. A representative from the Chamber of Industry and Commerce gave our news team an insight on what took place during the two-day fair.
Second and last day of our inaugural finance fair. When I say our, it is the Chamber of Industry and Commerce's inaugural finance fair. It's an event that we hope to repeat going forward. We have participants within the finance sector from the commercial banks, the indigenous banks. We have non-bank financial institutions such as the credit unions present, and it's really an opportunity to allow the Vincentian public, the general public, the economy, students to come in and ask questions in an environment where if you go to one bank and you don't like what their rates are, they don't have a package for you that you agree with, that's okay, because the next bank is right next door. So instead of having to wait for an appointment, or to walk around town to go in to get the paraphernalia or the collateral to read. It's just a simple matter of coming in and collecting everything, asking your questions from the representatives of each organization, and I think that you could leave with a very holistic picture of what you want and a way forward that's very easy.
Our news team also spoke with representatives from the different commercial banks and insurance companies who were part of the fair.
Well, we can offer loans 5,000 unsecured. Just come, bring ID, 2 pieces of ID, IT bill, a job letter, and just proof of borrowing. Come, do the appointment. Within like 7 working days time, you can get a loan of 5,000 unsecured. Anything like say 5,000 and over, you will need some form of security, whether cash, property.
We offer regular savings accounts at a rate of 2% paid quarterly. We also have fixed deposits. The starting amount is at $5,000 at a rate of 3.25%.
For all general insurances, motor vehicle insurance, house insurance, commercial insurance. For all general insurances, motor vehicle insurance, house insurance, commercial insurance. Offer minor savings account, fixed deposits account, loans to immediate members. You don't have to be a member for no length of time before you are able to access a loan.
We have mortgages. We are trying to showcase all of our services here today. You know, we have our junior saver, we have our regular membership. We have our loan while you earn and other loan categories that you have from our brochure here. We have on display here our 50th anniversary commemorative magazine. It's a free copy of the magazine. It's right here.
And the Executive Director of the National Insurance Services, Reginald Thomas, was on hand today, the final day of the fair, and shared some key information to the gathering on finance management.
By our very nature, we should collect contributions from workers from all of your institutions, and we should then account for those contributions in ways that will do the allocation of the contributions collected to the varying levels of reserves and to the different benefits or products, so that in the event of risk, or the event that we like to say in Social Security, in the event of a contingency, then Social Security comes to the table and we say that we will provide you with a safety net.
A Delphi Secondary captures secondary schools fish cook-off title. This and other stories coming up when we return. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Adelphi Secondary School took the top spot with their Lionfish and green banana dokuna dish in the secondary school's fish cook-off competition held earlier this week. The competition was held by the Fisheries Division in collaboration with the Eastern Caribbean Marine Managed Areas Network. Second place was taken by the Georgetown Secondary with spicy grilled lionfish in mango salsa, and the third place was captured by the North Union Secondary with gourmet lionfish. George Stevens Secondary took the fourth place with a lionfish pie. Chief Fisheries Officer Jennifer Howard-John said that the cook-off seeks to accomplish many objectives, inclusive of getting students involved in the Fisherman's Day activities, to emphasize the importance of fisheries through educational programs and activities, as well as aiding greater creativity and improve the students' culinary skills. Howard-John added that the competition, which was sponsored by the Marine Areas Network project, was also a collaborative effort in creating a positive impact on marine areas.
The undertaking of activities that will impact positively on marine managed areas. Today, the lionfish is a target species for this competition. The Home Economics Unit in the Ministry of Education, National Reconciliation, and the Nutrition Unit in the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment have been collaborating and working with the Fisheries Division towards the implementation and execution of this important activity. This initiative will also help to improve the health status of the population in keeping with our objectives of the Zero Hunger program.
Also making remarks was Tashika Haynes, project coordinator of the Eastern Caribbean Marine Managed Areas Park project, which is a regional project implemented in 6 countries. Haynes says the cocoa forms part of the project's thrust to rid the ecosystem of the lionfish, which is posed as a serious threat.
It has no known predators, as I said, and persons may think, it's something that we can slight, but it's something that we really need to take seriously. It's an indiscriminate eater, and once it can fit in its mouth, it eats it. There are no known predators to it in the ocean, and every 3 days it can produce up to 30,000 eggs. It is something that we really need to tackle because it's eating our juvenile fish, it's attacking the grouper, the parrotfish, and all the reef fish that we depend on to keep the reef clean, and so we really need to tackle this. How can you help? You can help by eating. That's the only way that we can control it. And so we're really pushing this whole lionfish consumption and really trying to come up with some creative local recipes where persons can actually enjoy this succulent fish.
A senior fisheries assistant, Sharik Shott, commended the students on their hard work with their creative dishes, noting that they were all of high standard.
Regardless of it being a competition, right? It's not to say that any of the dishes were bad or poor quality or whatever the case is, right? Like I said before, the competition was of high standard. The dishes that you guys produced were of high standard. I'm quite sure that what you're looking at here now are our future restaurant and hotel owners in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, right? And if being involved in culinary art is your calling, go ahead and do it, right? Go ahead and do it.
The representatives of the Adelphi, Georgetown North Union and the George Stevens Secondary School explain what ingredients was used to create their respective dish.
I've worked hard with our teacher, Miss Tony, and came up with the name of our dish, spicy grilled lionfish in mango salsa. The recipe was very challenging, but my team and I worked very hard to complete it. Now, we know that fish consists mainly of protein, calcium and other minerals. So we made it a complete dish by adding some vitamins. And we were so happy to be in this competition.
Lionfish pie. The main recipes are short crust pastry with breadfruit pudding, poached lionfish, sprinkled cheese and cayenne pepper. And the dish today we did is cucumber lionfish, where we season the fish with local seasoning and steam the bananas and stuff like that.
Lionfish green banana dukuna. It's not really a dukuna, but the process, just like how we do dukuna, we did the green lionfish green banana dukuna, the same process. It's not sweet or anything, but
the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CAFRA, has designated May 9 to the 15, 2016 as Caribbean Mosquito Awareness Week. And in this regard, the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment has launched a range of awareness activities in 5 communities in collaborations with the Central Water and Sewage Authority and BRAXA under the theme, Our Health is a Shared Responsibility. Stop Mosquitoes Today, Keep Zika Away. The week of activities commenced on Sunday with a radio program which focused on mosquito control measures to protect the Vincentian population, especially pregnant women who may be at risk of getting Zika and its complications. Visit by members of staff and also members of the Zika Action Committee are currently going on in several schools during the course of the week. The Insect Vector Control Unit within the ministry is lending support in the various communities by conducting source reduction activities, including the distribution of fishes, sealing defective septic tanks, sensitization, in addition to promoting Mosquito Awareness Week and a range of activities, including a cleanup campaign on Saturday in various communities. On Friday of this week at Heritage Square, there will be a Mosquito Awareness Exposition from 9 in the morning to 1. And also a Mosquito Awareness Concert from 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. The concert will feature a number of local artists, including Rodney Small, Kido Luther, along with renditions from the young leaders from the Georgetown Secondary, the St. Vincent Grammar School, the Girls High School, the Bishop College, and the Emmanuel High School, among numerous other acts. Mosquito Awareness Week activities will continue on Saturday, May 14 in Camden Park, Barley, Calicore, and Rose Place, with cleanup exercises in each community. Ossie Bowens, a 30-year-old farmer Fancy, was this morning sentenced to a 5-year jail term on 2 separate charges of gun and ammunition possession. The sentence was handed down by Chief Magistrate Ration Brown after Bowens was convicted with having in his possession a semi-automatic pistol and 1 round of ammunition on April 19th this year. Reports are that on the date in question, police from the Rapid Response Unit, the RRU, were on mobile patrol in the area when Bowens was seen standing next to an abandoned building with a black bag over his shoulder. The police reportedly became suspicious and approached Bowens to conduct a search on his person. However, he ran and threw the bag in the nearby bushes. The bag was retrieved with the gun, ammunition, and an ID and a quantity of cash inside. Bowens was then taken into custody and charged. Before imposing sentence, the Chief Magistrate says a strong message has to be sent out to the society that gun possession and gun-related crimes will not be tolerated. Bowens was represented in the matter by Defense Counsel Israel Bruce.